So, what is it that really separates a good software team from a truly elite one? The ones that seem to ship amazing things fast. Well, I can tell you it's not magic, and it's definitely not luck. It's all about mastering 6 core technical capabilities. Today, we're going to break down the exact blueprint that powers the world's most effective engineering teams. But first, let's talk about something I'm sure we've all felt. Why is it that so many software projects, the ones with great ideas and brilliant people, still manage to get bogged down? They get stuck in this painful, endless cycle of testing and releases. Well, it all comes down to this gap. It's the chasm between having a fantastic idea and actually getting that idea into the hands of users quickly and reliably. You could call it the delivery dilemma, and today, we're going to build the bridge to solve it. So, what if there was a proven blueprint for this? The best teams in the world aren't just winging it. They are systematically following a set of principles that they unlock high-performance software delivery. And we're about to unpack every single one of them. And look, this isn't about trying to hire some mythical 10x developers. It's about systematically getting good at a specific set of technical practices. You can think of these as the foundation, the bedrock that directly influences everything you care about: your speed, your quality, and of course, your reliability. Okay, so let's get right to the heart of it. We're going to break down the 6 core capabilities that really are the engine for any modern, high-performing software team. First up, we've got continuous integration, or CI. You've probably heard of it. At its core, CI is all about making code integration a frequent, low-drama, everyday event, instead of some massive, painful thing you do once a month. The idea is that every developer merges their work into a shared branch multiple times a day. And here's why that is so incredibly powerful. Every single time code is committed, an automated process just kicks off to build and test it. This creates this incredibly fast feedback loop. Developers find out if their change broke something in minutes, not days or weeks later. And honestly, that shift alone is a total game changer for a team's momentum. Now, building right on top of CI, we have continuous delivery, or CD. So if CI is about making sure your code is always in a working, ready state, CD is about making sure that working code can get to your users basically at the push of a button. This is where things get really exciting. With fully automated release pipelines, deployments just become routine. They're not events. The best teams can deploy on demand anytime they want for anything from a tiny bug fix to a huge new feature. Releasing software stops being this scary weekend-long ordeal and just becomes, part of the job. Of course, you can't move this fast without a solid safety net. And that brings us to our third capability: test automation. This is the quality gatekeeper for the whole process. It's what makes sure that all this speed doesn't come at the expense of stability. This really illustrates what people mean by shifting left. By running automated tests constantly, teams catch bugs when they are cheapest and easiest to fix, literally moments after they're written. And this frees up your human testers to do the really valuable creative work instead of just mind-numbing manual checks. Now, our fourth capability might be a little less familiar, but it is a key enabler for everything we've talked about so far. It's called trunk-based development. So instead of developers working in isolation on these long-lived feature branches for weeks at a time, everyone commits to a single main branch, often called the trunk. So what's the real benefit here? Well, it's the difference between chaos and flow. Instead of that nightmare we've all experienced called merge hell, trying to combine weeks of conflicting work, you get a smooth, continuous integration process. Code integration stops being a source of pain and becomes a simple, low-friction part of the daily routine. But how do you actually wire all these practices together? Well, that's where our fifth capability comes in: DevOps toolchain integration. The best way to think of it is as the automated plumbing that connects the entire lifecycle, from the moment a developer hits commit to the moment that code is running live for users. And you can see that whole journey right here. A developer commits a change, and the toolchain just takes over. It automatically builds the code, runs all the tests, scans for security flaws, and, if everything passes, deploys it straight to production. And that final step, observation, feeds data right back into the process. It creates this amazing, virtuous cycle of constant improvement. Finally, and this is a big one, none of this is really possible at scale without our sixth capability: an architecture that is designed for modularity. This basically means designing your software not as one giant tangled mess, but as a set of distinct components that don't heavily depend on each other. Now, what's fascinating here is that this doesn't automatically mean you have to use microservices. A really well-structured monolith can achieve the very same goal. The crucial outcome for both of these approaches is having independently deployable components. That is the secret sauce that allows teams to work in parallel without constantly stepping on each other's toes. So we've just walked through 6 really powerful capabilities. But the real magic, the real transformation, happens when you see how they all fit together. They create something that's way greater than the sum of its parts. It is so critical to understand this. This is not a checklist. It's an interconnected system. You see, trunk-based development enables CI. CI enables CD. Test automation makes them both safe. And a modular architecture allows teams to do all of this in parallel. Each piece reinforces the others, creating this performance flywheel that just spins faster and faster over time. And I think this quote just captures it perfectly. Adopting one of these practices might give you a nice little boost, but adopting them all as a complete system, that can be truly transformative for your entire organization. So there you have it, 6 interconnected technical capabilities that are the blueprint for transforming your software delivery from a source of friction into a real, genuine competitive advantage. And that leaves us with one final question for you to think about. Looking at these 6, what's the one capability that, if you and your team really focused on it tomorrow, could begin to unlock your true potential?